If you have been learning an accent, at some point you'll be like, wait, am I really talking in this accent or am I just speaking my normal accent? So it becomes difficult to figure out whether you are speaking in the accent that you're trying to learn, so let's call it the target accent, or whether you're speaking in your normal accent. Talking in one accent is easy, but things get difficult when you have to switch between two or more accents.
The target accent, the accent that you're trying to learn, the normal accent or the common accent, the accent specific to your locality or state.
It's hard to practice an accent, especially when you're living in a place where people are not really speaking the target accent. For example, I'm now living in India and people around me don't speak the American accent. So if I try to speak in the American accent, you know what happens is, the first thing is they will start judging. They'll start saying that, why are you putting on a fake accent? Right? You know what's funny is it's not just about accents. Even if you are trying to practice your English speaking skills without any fancy accents, even so, I don't know about other places, but if you're in South India, it is like, so if you try to speak in English with people around you with the intention of improving your English speaking skills, people will again judge you, saying that, oh, bade aaye English bolne wali. Oh, here comes the English expert kind of comments from people around you, right? That's why we find it difficult to practice speaking in English, let alone practicing different accents. So the fear of judgment makes us tone down our accent and speak in the normal accent, the common accent that the people around you are using, so that you're not being judged and you're not called for faking accents. So that's a big stopper that's stopping us from learning the accent. And number two, even if you happen to speak in the American accent, the problem is people will say, what? They'll not understand it. You'll have to repeat multiple times, sometimes out of the blue. I happen to speak in the American accent sometimes, and it's like you have to say the thing at least 3 times and then they will not understand it. And that's why the fourth time I'll be like, say the words strong enough, like with the Indian accent kind of thing, so that people can understand. So as a result, what happens is when I'm talking to normal people, I tone down the accent and try to speak normally, like in the normal Indian accent. And I try not to use American accent in these contexts. So because of this kind of situation, we are trapped. And now we have no choice other than to switch between languages. Switch between accents. So you have to switch between American and Indian accent continuously. And because of that, you know what happens? Now you don't know the differentiation between what is American accent and what is Indian accent. Now you're so familiar with your voice and your way of speaking. Now you don't know whether you're actually speaking the American accent or not. That's happening to me right now, you know? This is day 2 of recording this video. Flashback. When I was recording this video the previous day, I was getting the flow, I was doing it right, and then suddenly someone knocked the door. You know, I'm staying in PG, I had to stop the video, I just went to check out who it was, then I waited for them to check out the room and go. Then after that, I started recording the video again. The moment I set for recording, again, they knocked the door.
She literally had to open the door 5 times in a row. Finally, the new member of the room came with a luggage, but then she had no other option but to wind up.
So I guess we were talking about being in a situation where you're not able to practice your target accent, right? So there are 2 psychology-based things that can stop you from learning the accent further in such a situation. So number 1, brain prediction. When you speak, your brain already knows what it is intended to say. That's why it will fill in the sound that you didn't actually produce. This happens even when you try recording yourself and listening back to yourself. Even though you're listening to your recording, your brain already knows that, okay, this is how it should be pronounced. So even though you hear the wrong thing, your brain automatically predicts and replaces it with intended sound, and you miss out the mistakes, right? For example, let's say you're saying water with the flap T. Maybe actually you said water, but your brain knows that it is intended to say water. Even though you say water, it interprets as water. So you miss out the mistake, right? And the second thing is familiarity bias. You know, you're so used to your voice, you're so adapted to your voice that you rarely find mistakes when you speak. For example, you're looking at your face in the mirror every single day, so you don't notice the small details, but your friend does, right? When you meet your friend after a long time, they will notice the changes in you, but you won't notice it because you have been constantly seeing your face and you don't notice the small details, right? Similarly, you're so adapted to your own voice that you rarely find mistakes. So this is something I'm struggling with because I'm so used to my voice, I'm not able to say if I'm talking in the American accent or if I'm talking in a normal Indian accent. It's kind of difficult for me to understand. So what's the solution for this? The solution is to make your voice unfamiliar. Unfamiliar? How can you make your voice unfamiliar? So this is something I do and I thought I should share with you. Record yourself reading a book or maybe saying something, then take it into an editing app or maybe a website and change your pitch, or maybe you can apply voice effects like the ones you would see in Instagram chats, right? You might have already seen the voice effects feature in Instagram DMs, or you can find it on different editing apps, or maybe there are some online websites, free websites where you can change your voice. So when you change your voice, your brain will be like, wait, that's not me. So now you'll start listening objectively. That is, while changing your voice, you're tricking your brain into listening to your voice objectively. Now you're separating yourself from the speech, and so you're able to notice the small pronunciation errors or maybe the accent. You know, we humans are very good at finding mistakes in other people, right? Other people, what other people say and things like that. But we don't actually test ourselves. We don't actually find our own mistakes. But when you do so, but with this strategy, you're able to see it as if you're hearing to a different person and you're able to find out the mistakes. This is something I came up with, and I feel like this unique idea deserves a like and subscribe. You know what I found surprising when I did this method or this technique was I actually sounded better than I imagined.
The narrator you have been hearing this whole time was no AI. It was just me, that is the girl that is speaking in this video, with a voice effect. I'm coughing and pausing like this to make sure that...
to make you understand that this is no AI.
Does it sound good?
Again, I'm not perfect. You know, I get comments from the previous YouTube videos and from my friends saying that my accent is good. Me being my worst critic, I used to think that my accent is not that good, my voice is not that good, kind of thing. But when I actually tried changing my voice, I'm like, okay, I'm not bad, even though I'm not perfect, but I can see the difference. I have to switch between two accents. Like, when I'm talking in videos like this, I'm trying to speak in the American accent, and when I talk to my friends, I try to tone down the accent a bit, and that's why I'm struggling between these two. And you know, sometimes the accents get mixed and I'm not able to really understand if I'm speaking in the American accent or if I'm speaking in my normal Indian accent. But this technique really helps. If you want me to share such tips and learnings with you in the future, then please subscribe to my channel so that we can learn and grow together.
This girl has been putting in so much effort to create this video. So dear ladies and gentlemen, please do like this video and subscribe to her channel.
See you in the next video. Bye.